that you're all really well. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing Emily Norris's tag that she has tagged me in called the Mum Tag. It's a brand new Mum Tag for 2019. There's 15 questions and I'm just going to get straight into it. So the very first question is, what is your favourite mum hack? And this one is very, very simple, and it's all to do with when I have a shower. So you know that time in the morning when you just can't seem to grab 5 minutes peace to have a shower and your little ones are grabbing at you and driving you crazy? Well, my hack is to just have a shower with my son. So I only have one son, his name is Harry and he's 5, and he loves nothing more than having a shower, but he'll only have one with me. So when I really need to have a shower and he's just not really letting me, I kind of turn it into a fun activity and I'm like, oh, do you want to have a shower with mummy? And he just finds it really exciting and he jumps in the shower with me. I get to wash my hair, wash my body. He just plays in the shower and he's also getting a wash at the same time, which means he might not need a bath later on that day. So the next question is, what is your most embarrassing mum moment? And something that really sticks out in my mind for me that I found so embarrassing and so mortifying was a couple of years ago. We were at a caravan park and there was a lovely lady there who had dwarfism. So she was obviously very small. She must have been about 3 foot something, so she wasn't very much taller than Harry, and Harry turned around and just would not stop staring and then started laughing and pointing. Oh my goodness, mummy, that lady is so small. Look, she's my height, she's the same size as me. I was so mortified, but luckily the lovely lady was so sweet. She laughed along with Harry and then started to tell him that actually that was just the way she was, that she was a fully grown person and that she wasn't going to get any taller. She also then went on to tell him a story about the fact that she was in plays and she was like becoming famous because she was on stage being a dwarf for the 7 Dwarfs. So she kind of turned it around into a really positive moment, but for me it was absolutely mortifying. So the next question is, what part of the day do you love the most? So I guess during the week I really love the early evening when we've all been fed, we're all ready for bed and we're sitting having a little snuggle on the sofa. That's when I normally get that real sort of, oh my god, I made this family moment. And at the weekends it's probably like a Saturday afternoon because we're normally out doing our most fun activities. Now the next one is, what part of the day do you love the least? And when I watched Emily's answers to this mum tag, it was very similar for me. Her answer was putting on the kids' shoes. Now obviously she has 3 boys and I only have 1, so I only have 1 child to get shoes on. But oh my goodness, it is just so awful. I don't know what is so difficult about putting shoes on. But my answer was actually going to be getting dressed and ready to leave the house. I don't know what it is, but my 5-year-old son just refuses to get dressed. Even if I just say, fine, you can go out in your pants, I think he probably would. So yeah, getting him dressed and getting his shoes on is my absolute worst part of the day. So the next question is, what is the worst thing somebody said to you when you were pregnant? So I actually have 2 things. The first one was when I walked into work one day, one of the guys in my team, like a middle-aged guy, went to me, "Hi fatty," and it kind of stuck and he just kept saying it, like, "Hi fatty," and I just kind of thought, I don't say that to you, but you know, you're not exactly skinny. And I just don't know what on earth possesses people to come out with these things. Like, why on earth would you say that to a pregnant person? I just don't really get it. Like, I haven't got fat on purpose, I'm having a baby. And the second thing is, somebody said to me, it was like an older lady when I was lining up for a coffee in town, and she got chatting to me as people do when you're pregnant. And she was really sweet to start with and was like, you know, do you know what you're having? Are you excited? So I said to her, I'm having a boy and his name's Harry. And she basically was like, oh, are you disappointed that you're not having a girl? And I was just really baffled. I was like, no, of course I'm not disappointed. Like, this is my first baby and I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to have a boy. And she basically turned around and said, yeah, but boys always leave their mums. So literally I hadn't even had Harry yet, and I've kind of always been haunted by the fact that he's gonna leave me. So the next question is there a baby name that you didn't agree on? So I'm assuming this is didn't agree on with my partner Scott. Yeah, there was loads of names we didn't agree on, but the one that sticks out for me most, because I just adore it so much still, was a girl's name, and it's Bella. And Scott just really hates it. He said it reminds him of the girl in Twilight, and he was like, no, it just doesn't work for me. And yeah, so that really sticks out for me because I just really love the name Bella. I think it's really beautiful. Obviously Belle is like beautiful and Bella's just like another version of it. And yeah, I just feel like I'm never gonna get it even if I have a girl, because he just doesn't like it. So question number 7 is, do you co-sleep? So when Harry was a baby, we didn't ever really co-sleep. It just didn't really happen for us. Harry didn't really sleep well with us. He also didn't sleep well without us. It was 6 months of basically no sleep. And as he got older, he did start coming into our bed. So there was a time, probably for about 6 months, where he was a toddler and he was coming in our bed in the middle of the night. Scott was going into his bed, a toddler bed, and I was sleeping the rest of the night with Harry. So that's probably the only time we've really co-slept. I kind of miss those days a little bit. I kind of think there's nothing better than kind of snuggling up to your little one. But yeah, I didn't really do it when he was a baby. It wasn't really our thing. So the next question is, what is something that you bought but never used? So I'm assuming this is more towards like baby products, because there's so many things that you buy that you don't really need, like novelty products. So I guess for me, the thing that really sticks out as something we didn't really use was one of those bouncers. So they attach to the door frame by some sort of clamp, and then you put the baby in like a harness for them to jump up and down, but it's really difficult to get them in, as well as put the harness on. You kind of had to like do it at the same time. Never really worked. It was a bit of a faff. Yeah, we just didn't really use it very much. What are your 3 hospital bag must-haves? So obviously I had a baby over 5 years ago now, but I think the 3 must-haves are probably the exact same as they would be today. So number 1 would be lots of sanitary pads. So definitely more than you think you need and thicker than you think you need. They do give you some in the hospital, but they are so thick and uncomfortable. You want something a bit more comfortable. So definitely those. The second thing would be dark, huge pants or disposable pants. I think I took in like 3 pairs and it was nowhere near enough. I had to get some more, and you kind of don't just need them for the hospital, you obviously need them for at home as well. Even paper pants are okay. They're obviously less flattering and a lot more uncomfortable, but you're going to throw all of these pants away. You're not going to keep them. So yeah, definitely big pants. And number 3 would definitely be a million baby grows and a million muslins. I just realised that's 4 products, but they're all essentials. You definitely need more baby grows and muslins than you think you did. I think I took in 2 muslins and Harry was sick on them within like the first few hours. So yeah, all the baby grows and all the muslin. So the next question is, are you a routine mum or a go with the flow mum, and what does your bedtime routine look like? So I am definitely quite a routine mum. I like to have Harry in bed by a certain time, which is normally about 8 o'clock latest. I think I was probably very routine focused when he was a baby because he responded well to that and I did as well. But obviously as they get older, it does become a little bit more relaxed. So we normally do bath time about 6:30. And then by 7, he's ready to kind of wind down, have a story in bed, brush his teeth, go to the toilet, and yeah, then he has a story and we'll go to sleep. But he makes a million excuses not to go to sleep, calls us up about 3 or 4 times for various reasons, whether it's going to the toilet, having a drink, to tell us something. I mean, last night he called me up there about half an hour after I put him to bed to tell me that elephant starts with eh. So yeah, these are the kind of trivial conversations we're having at 8 o'clock at night. So next up, what type of labour did you have and what kind of pain relief did you choose? So I am one of those people that didn't love labour, despite not having a traumatic one. I did have a back-to-back labour, which I think was the main issue. I just felt like I never got like a break from the pain. It was just continuous. So by the time it came to me giving birth, I was just absolutely exhausted, and I just don't think I really coped with the pain very well. It was a lot more painful than I ever expected. So I'm kind of excited to do it again one day, and perhaps it will be a better experience. So my labour, I was 42 weeks when I gave birth, so I was 2 weeks overdue and very exhausted. I hadn't been sleeping very well, so I think all of those sort of factors contributed into me not enjoying labour as much as I wanted to. I dilated very quickly, so I think all in all, from when my waters broke and my labour started to when I had Harry was 10 hours, which isn't really too long, and I was pushing for about 45 minutes. I did have gas and air, and then I did have an epidural, but it was slightly too late and only worked on one half of my body. And my midwife actually made me let it wear off and not top it up when I came to push, so I could pretty much feel everything other than like the bottom of one of my legs. So I had an epidural, but I could feel everything. So the next question is, have you ever been mum shamed? So like a lot of other YouTube mums or YouTube type people or social media creators, I have had negative things written about me online, but offline, I guess the biggest thing that springs to mind about mum shaming, I guess this is quite bespoke to me, but somebody said to me in person that it was cruel that I'd put my son through surgery to have his cochlear implants. So if you're new here, my son is deaf and has cochlear implants to help him hear. He had to have 6-hour surgery, very serious surgery, when he was 14 months old. And obviously we didn't take that decision lightly, but it was the only way he was going to be able to hear. And somebody said to me, they thought it was cruel that I'd given him surgery or chose for him to have surgery when he was a baby. So yeah, I guess that's a kind of mum shaming thing. It kind of made me feel a bit guilty and a bit sad, but yeah, it didn't last too long. I definitely don't regret that decision. So the next question is, what are the biggest challenges you've faced since becoming a mum? So aside obviously my own son's personal health problems, I think the biggest challenge for me and for Scott is just the lifestyle change. Going from 0 to 1 child, everyone will tell you, it's just so weird and so hard, and it's just such an adjustment. And I think the biggest challenge when I first become a mum was that I just couldn't be selfish anymore. You couldn't just like be like, you know, let's go to the cinema or let's just go out for dinner. And I think I was so used to making such spontaneous kind of selfish decisions, and having that suddenly taken away is quite scary. I think for me also the lack of sleep, and it's still the case now. I mean, we don't do too badly, but Harry does still wake in the night, which still gives us disruptive sleep. I'm just one of those people, I just don't cope well with little sleep. I get really bad anxiety if I don't sleep properly, and I think that's probably been and still is my biggest challenge. And the next one is, what is the best piece of advice you've been given and the best piece of advice you'd give to somebody else? So I would say the best piece of advice anyone gave me is to not take too much advice, because I think when you're pregnant and when you first have a newborn, you want advice and you take as much as you can, but a lot of the time it's quite conflicting and you can end up very confused and kind of very, I don't know, you just don't really know which piece of advice to take. So I think it was my godmum that said it to me actually. She was like, take the advice and then take the bits that you want from it. So everybody's baby is different, and certain things are going to work for you that aren't going to work for everybody else. And I really do think that that was the best piece of advice someone could have given me. So if I was going to give anybody some advice, a new mum or a pregnant person, it would be exactly that. Take as much advice as you want, but you don't take it all on board. Don't have to do all of it. Every baby is different and you'll find your own path. And the last question is, who is your mum crush? So I've actually got a proper mum crush on somebody that I follow on Instagram, and we chat now and again on there, but she's just so stunningly beautiful. Her family is just so lovely, and I just really love following her account, and her account is coral_pearl. I'll pop a little link to her either on screen or below, or probably both. But yeah, I really love following her. I find her like a really calming sort of presence to follow, and yeah, she's just definitely one of my mum crushes. So as part of that question, Emily asked, who do I tag to do this mum tag? And instead of writing individual people, because there's so many people I'd like to tag, I'm just going to tag all of you that are watching this. So if you are a mum YouTuber, or if you just fancy doing the tag on your blog, or you want to put the questions below and answer them so I can see your answers, then I tag you to do this mum tag. Don't forget to let Emily know that you've done the tag so she can go and watch it as she created the questions. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!